Nash and Young with a great song and a beautiful message, Teach Your Children, and very apt because I have psychologist and lovely person Carlos Camacho here. Good to see you, Carlos.
Great to see you, Deb.
Thank you. Always lovely to have you here, and it's a special time at the moment for you're having a book launch with another one of your books.
Yes, it was. It just came out. It was something that I just thought of all of a sudden, and I wrote it in record time. This one.
Yeah, how long?
It took me just about 2 or 3 months. Usually it takes me like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, so it was really meant to be.
Well, it's a smaller book, and I knew exactly what I needed, and a lot of the information I gathered from other thinkers, and I just kind of like amalgamated it all and turned it into a little book.
And it's How to Be Happy, 10 tips from 10 thinkers for kids, fun with philosophy. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. There's 3 subtitles. That means it must be okay.
Yeah, it must be. And to help the children. It's fantastic with philosophy.
Yeah. I always, look, as you know, I work a lot with children and teenagers and so forth. And plus I'm interested. Who isn't? I mean, they're the future.
They're the future.
Of course. I mean, I remember there was a line in The Breakfast Club in the movie from 1985 where the teacher says, you know what wakes me up in the middle of the night? That when I grow old, these kids are going to take care of me.
Yeah, so I better teach them well.
That's right. Well, the janitor says to him, well, I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah. So what is your book actually really like covering?
Well, it's an introduction to philosophy, very simplified. And it's specifically about what the great thinkers said about being happy. Mm-hmm. So obviously a lot of these thinkers used a lot of big words. So I made it accessible to children or for anyone that has never really read philosophy and would want to start somewhere because it's very, very simple.
Really easy to understand.
That's right. And it's in small pieces. So there's 10 thinkers and I quote and then just talk a little bit about 10 things that they recommend to be happy. So it's nice and easy and easy to read. Yeah.
And what are some of those 10 things? Just off
well, look, it's funny enough. Once I finished it, I realised there was a common thread throughout these thinkers. And we start with Plato 2,500 years ago, and we finish with Camus, who only died in the 60s. Mm-hmm. So and a lot of them said that happiness is not something that you can find or is out there, but something within that you need to create. And all of them pretty much said that in a different way, but that's pretty much the message.
And ways to create that, like playing team sports maybe, outdoor play, family time, socialization.
That's right. A lot of the philosophers talk about the environment and the people you hang around with. Mm-hmm. And being part of something out there in the community is extremely important. And for Aristotle, actually, that was the most important thing because he thought we were social animals, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so in order to reach a certain level of happiness, we have to get along with others.
And it's better to be face-to-face outside playing rather than on social media for these kids, isn't it? You know?
Yes, look, the world has changed dramatically. For kids these days, they use the same symbolism when they talk about online or they talk about face-to-face. For them, it's exactly the same. For us, it's not, for our generation. So we have to show them that to experience it, they need to experience it to realise the difference. So I recommend for parents and caregivers to in a way, kind of like drag them out a little bit. Because they'll say no, but just kind of like
as
keep
a family.
Pushing.
That's what I did every afternoon after school with my boys. Get the veggies ready before they get home. And then I was lucky that I was a stay-home mother because I have 5, so it was pretty hard. But then all go down the park and play a game of basketball, touch football. I've noticed a lot of people do that now as families since COVID.
Yeah, that's right. And it's obviously it's got so many benefits. Yeah. Oxygen and meeting new people, maybe physical exercise, and that one-on-one interaction with somebody else is just magical, really. Just encountering another human being, another, as some of the existentialists would say, another consciousness, someone that is aware that they exist in you. Because when you talk to an animal like a dog or a bird or many other creatures, it's a different type of interaction.
Yeah.
That's why you can dance like wild while there's a dog watching. You don't care. But as soon as there's a person, you go, oh, I start feeling self-conscious. And that's why, because they're also a consciousness. So it's very important for kids and teenagers to have that one-on-one, in a way, confrontation almost with somebody else. And it doesn't matter. They don't have to like them, but just that interaction is wonderful.
How they learn, isn't it?
That's right.
Socialisation. Yeah, and also for obesity as well. It's great, isn't it, to be outside playing?
It's the number one recommendation for children to get outside, walk, just move.
Yeah. So good for your mental health. And when's your book launch, Carlos?
Well, it's technically next month down in Sydney, but it's already out on basically on the internet, and you can get it in some other places. But it's going to be out officially on the 19th of October. And yes, there's it's a book that hopefully will introduce children and young people to the classics.
Yeah, I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
what a brainstorm.
Yeah, I always wonder that, because I do mention sometimes some big names, and some of the kids don't know them. It's such a shame, you know.
Yeah.
Because they got so much to offer, and for children, it's great because they realise, wow, 2,000 years ago, kids felt the same. Like everyone just wanted the same things. They wanted to be happy. They wanted to take care of themselves. They wanted to make friends, and not much has changed. And it gives them a better identity, knowing that they're not alone. It's been like that forever.
That's right. And what age would you recommend? That start this?
I'd say about 10.
About 10.
So early, and it's probably
even
specifically for the young teens, like 12, 13. That would be perfect
as they're developing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've actually a couple of actually my proofreader has a nephew, and he's like in his 20s, and he read it, and he thought it was great because he got introduced to something very simple, which hadn't been the case in the past. So, yeah, it's one of those things that, look, I think it's for kids and teenagers, but in the end, it's for anyone that's wishing just to simplify or get some advice, and really good advice from wise people.
Good on you, Carlos. So that's the 19th of October, but they can get it on Amazon?
That's right, yep.
Okay, and you have a book to give away to a lucky listener. First caller.
First, and that's going to be the first book that anyone has anywhere.
Okay, fantastic. Right here at Coast FM.
That's right.
First time. First caller, 43220072, gets Carlos's book called How to Be Happy. Coast FM with the classic hits. Thanks, Carlos. We'll talk to you again in a few weeks.
For sure.
Here's A Sweet Child of Mine that you chose from Guns N' Roses. Ooh. I love it. Good on you, Carlos. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.